Ha! Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today I have another Pentatonix reaction video. It's a very special reaction video. Although I should clarify a little bit. It's not exactly a reaction video. It's more of a review, I should say. So Pentatonix, this whole time while they're on tour, they were filming a documentary. It's called the On My Way Home documentary in honor of the On My Way Home tour, in honor of the On My Way Home song from their album, their original song, which is my absolute favorite Pentatonix song, my favorite song right now. It's amazing. And so they filmed this On My Way Home documentary. It is now out today on Vimeo, and I will put a link in the description box below if you want to purchase the documentary. I highly recommend it. I can say that I literally just finished watching it, came downstairs, set up my camera so I can talk to you all right now. And it was amazing. So for this, because the documentary is basically an hour and a half long, it's a true documentary movie. It's long. And so I couldn't react to it. I mean, that's just way too much, and it's probably gonna be, you know, illegal, copyrighted to share the whole documentary, all that stuff. So I figured excuse me, what I would do is I would just talk to you guys about it, do a little review after having watched it, basically. So yeah. Fair warning though, there will be some spoilers as far as the documentary goes, so if you have not watched it and you don't want to know anything that happens in the documentary, stop watching, come back to this video later on after you have watched it, because I will be discussing what's in the documentary. So this documentary basically chronicles the beginning of kind of like from the rehearsals for the On My Way Home tour, all the prep and everything they did for it, to their first show, and then all through their North American tour until the end of it. So throughout the documentary, they're kind of counting down like this many days until home, this many days until home, until they got to their Grand Prairie show in Texas. So it was kind of like they're back home because the trio grew up in Arlington, Texas. So that's essentially what it was. And it gave you like glimpses at the different cities and stuff. But the main focus of the documentary was multiple things in a way. I mean, obviously it was chronicling what they do on tour, but it was kind of like all about what this whole journey means to PTX. You know, it was talking about their achievements, talking about from where they started. Like they actually showed archive footage like of them as little kids and stuff, and then you know, to now, and they showed their families a little bit, and so it kind of gave you a good perspective of where these guys came from and where they are now, and then also where they hope to be. You know, there was a lot of talk about the original album and where they're going now, and it was really cool to see that. I mean, this is like exactly what I think is needed, because Pentatonix is at that point now in their career where they've become popular, you know, like they're big on YouTube. People start to know their name. Just today, somebody at work was like, I was wearing the hat, and they're like, you know, what is the hat from? And I told them Pentatonix. Like, oh yeah, I know who that is. So it's cool to see like that recognition now that people know who Pentatonix is. But at the same time, they haven't done a full-length original album. That's what they're working on, and that's truly what's gonna test their mainstream popularity in a way, you know? And I have faith in them. All the Pentaholics out there have faith in them, obviously. But this documentary was like giving their perspective on what PTX is working towards, how they're working on this album. They're going on tour, they want to meet their fans, and they want to they want to put on a good show, but like this show represented to them how far they've come, because it was like a big production and everything, and it was so cool to see that, because it really was like the past, present, and future of PTX. It really did a great job of chronicling all of that. And throughout the documentary, there are many moments where you could feel the emotions. I mean, right from the beginning, it starts off with footage of them as little kids, and it was so cool to see that. And just to see where they went from there, like towards the end, you saw their families and everything. You just saw their adventures throughout. You saw like their excitement when they, like for example, when they first saw the lights and stuff for the show, and it was so cool to see that. And the other great part about it was the fact that you got to see the behind the scenes too. I mean, you got to see the glimpses of it in the PT experience, but you truly got to see a good feel for that this time around too. And they actually took little pieces of PT experience too, so it's a couple little clips you might recognize if you watch those videos. But I loved it, and you know, not only were there these little emotional moments, there were 2 moments in the concert where I teared up. Like I don't want to say I fully cried because I like tried to stop myself, but there were 2 moments in the documentary where it just hit me. And you know, well, I guess I'll just tell you what it was. So the first moment was right when they got to their opening show and they're backstage and then they start their intro. I love their intro, first of all. And I was so happy to see that they recorded it for the documentary. It was so cool to see them backstage getting ready, like they're all prepped for the first show. They start singing and then they walk out on stage to the crowd and everything. It's like, bam, tour kicks off. This is it, the On My Way Home tour. And as soon as they were backstage starting to sing, you could see the excitement in their faces. Like Kevin was in the camera, like getting all excited. It hit me there. Like I got emotional and I was like, this is it, this is big. And then the second time was towards the end of the documentary when they did On My Way Home, obviously, my favorite song. But they kicked it off again and they showed them doing the intro again. But then they did On My Way Home, and it was so cool because they did like a montage of all these different little pieces of the tour, and like you could see like Mitch crouching down on the stage like from Aha. You could see like glimpses of them walking around in the crowd during 4 or 5 seconds, like little things like that, you know, obviously as Pentaholics are gonna pick up on, but it was so cool to see all of that encompassed together into On My Way Home. And they never did like a full music video for it, but in a way, this kind of was like the music video. Like this represented the tour. This was so cool to see, and it made me emotional to see that, and I loved it. And it was really cool to actually see throughout the documentary, there were a couple times where they actually showed full song performances. You know, they showed Love You Long Time. They showed Problem at the beginning, which was great. The ending of the documentary with the credits and stuff was Aha. So it was really cool to see that. So I'm glad that you actually got to see some of them performing too. So it was really cool to see all of their performances, to see them on tour, to see them meeting some of the fans, and it was truly the tour from PTX's perspective. As much as, you know, you have all these fans out there, you saw little glimpses of the crowd and stuff, but it really didn't focus on that too much. The focus was Pentatonix, which was, I mean, it made sense for the documentary, you know? But that was truly the focus of the documentary because you really got to see what they were thinking, you know, like what their mindset was going into this tour and what they are hoping to accomplish in the future. And it was really cool to see that. One other thing that I loved, I was hoping they would do this, and I'm so glad that they did. They're working on their original album, obviously, so we know that. They've been working hard, and I expected like they would show little glimpses maybe of them recording the songs, and maybe we might get some teases of the songs, and we definitely did. So I think there were like 2 songs that we got to hear part of, maybe more. One was a song called Rose Gold, I think it was. And so we got to hear a little bit of that. And then another song called, I think it was Cracked. And you got to see like glimpses of them arranging it, recording it, all of that. And it sounded great. Like it sounded really cool. I mean, obviously it's preliminary, it's early, it's not finalized yet, but I was still like grooving along to it. Like I could, Scott was singing like a lead part in that Cracked song, and it was really cool to see that because it was like a glimpse of what Pentatonix wants to do to get a song on the radio. You know, like they were talking about they want to get on the radio, and you could see like this is the style of song they were trying to go for the original album. So it like gives you a taste of what their true original sound is, you know? And it was really cool to see that. So I was so happy about that. I'm gonna go back and watch that part over and over and listen to that song. It was great to hear. I loved also the little bits of songs they had in the background, especially like leading up to On My Way Home, because I love the song. But before that too, they had like just little pieces of the song, like just like the bass part or just like the harmonies, like leading up to it, and then they got to the full On My Way Home song at the end. But like it was really cool to hear those little glimpses of it, and it almost makes me wish that they would release like each of the Pentatonix members like tracks individually so you could hear their individual parts. That would be kind of cool to do. But hey, that would be good. Patreon exclusive Pentatonix, you should do that. But anyways, honestly though, the documentary was amazing. A couple things though that I should kind of clarify, I guess, or at least 1 or 2 things. So one thing that I was wondering, because this is about their tour, right? And they went on a North American tour, then they went on a European tour, and then an Asian tour, right? And they just recently, a couple days ago, finished their tour in Asia. And so I was wondering, like, wait a second, how is this documentary releasing now? How are they going to incorporate all that other footage from the tour? So I kind of knew that they would not show the entire tour, you know? But I was actually a little surprised that they only focused on the North American part. The European tour was a very quick montage in the credits. So just to FYI, you know, if you're a European fan, if you went to their concert in Europe and you were hoping to see some of that on the documentary, FYI, unfortunately, you might be disappointed about that piece because that was just part of the credits. You know, it's something that it could have gone either way, to be honest. I can understand, you know, how there might be some people that might be disappointed with that, but personally, I guess, because the whole documentary was focused on the fact that they were going home, so to speak, back in Texas, it kind of made sense to end there, I guess. So thematically, for the purpose of this documentary, it made sense. And there was so much content that they showed anyways that it would be hard for them to kind of fit more in there. I almost hope, though, I feel like they could almost do a second documentary about like Europe and Asia and how they're like taking over the world and traveling and all this other stuff. You could almost have another documentary there. So PTX, you know, I don't know if you brought the whole crew with you and you filmed a lot more stuff there. You did PT Experience there, so, you know, documentary part 2, that would be awesome. But anyways, it was great. I will say also, I kind of expected this because I kind of noticed this when I was there. I went to the show in Fairfax, Virginia on March 19th, and amazing show, fantastic. But I noticed when I was there that the crew that films the stuff pretty much didn't do anything in that show. They did a teeny bit maybe, I saw for like a second during the concert, but they pretty much didn't film anything. So I kind of expected to not really see anything from the show that I went to. Which, you know, I mean, personally, I guess it's a little disappointing because it's like, it's my show that I went to, you know? I mean, it's not my show, but it's like, you know, it's personal. Like, I got this hat there, the shirt, well, I didn't get it there, but I wore it there. I met Pentatonix there. You know, the Fairfax show is very personal to me, and they completely, like, skipped over it. But, you know, honestly, though, not a big deal because the focus of it was on Pentatonix's journey, and, you know, maybe they had just other stuff going on during that time, and they showed enough of what they had to show. And I have to say, the editing on the documentary was fantastic. It just, props to the whole crew, the Scheme Engine, you know, the guys that made the documentary. It was really good. And I say that because the little bits of the music, kind of like the transitions between stuff, the cuts between things, there were moments when like there was one moment I just remember thinking like, that this is truly legit, like this is so professional, when like, and it's kind of cheesy to think this, but I guess me being from the perspective of somebody that films videos, like there's a moment when Kevin's eating, and then it like the camera just zooms into like, it focuses on Avi in the background, his face, and then he kind of like looks up and he's like, a salad, what? That like moment right there encompasses their personality, you know, Avi loving food, his relationship with Kevin, but it was like great editing too, because it like they captured that moment perfectly, like just Kevin eating and then just focused on Avi, and like there's so many moments like that where the crew completely excuse me, I don't know what's going on. They completely captured the moments, and it really just felt special, and I love that. I love to see Mario, a bit of his performance there. I love to see just so much of it, and it was cool to see like they'd get into moments like Mario where he started singing, and then like he would still be singing in the background, but they'd show other stuff like Pentatonix meeting Faith, one of the Pentaholics, who's really cool. And then you know, one of the moments when they're showing the original song and they're kind of recording, then it like transitioned to something else. So there are lots of great editing going on there, and it truly felt like a good professional documentary. And it was interesting. So I personally, I loved it. I really got to say that I absolutely loved it, and it was really cool to get a better glimpse of behind the scenes. But being like, Pentatonix is one of those groups that's unique in that I never thought that I would be this big of a fan of a music group. I never thought that would happen. But the reason why I'm such a fan, I mean, obviously their music is incredible, and it's they have such natural talent. It's truly amazing. But it's the fact that like these are 5 people that I feel like I can truly relate to. You know what I mean? Like when I'm gonna see them again in September, and I'm so excited. I mean, to see them sing, but more to like, I have another VIP private performance ticket, and just to go, just hang out with them backstage and like say, hey, how are you? What's up? And just talk to them, you know? And it's so weird to think that, but it's like, they're so down to earth, and like, that's what I respect about them so much. I think that's why I'm such a huge fan. The fact that they are just 5 people who are very talented, very passionate about what they do, and everything just kind of came together in the perfect storm, and they are just making it big, you know? And it feels like it's a friend of mine that's making it big. And I think that's why I'm so invested in it. And I think that documentary just made everything feel so personal, you know? It was like, this is their journey, and I feel like I've been along with them on this journey, and it's really cool to see that and to see their perspective as well on this whole journey. And for that, the documentary was amazing. I mean, it was everything that I was hoping for. It was great. So, Scheme Engine, RCA Records, Pentatonix, the whole crew, everybody involved in this whole thing. Seriously, well done, well done. It was amazing, and I highly recommend getting the documentary. You know, it's something that like, it's probably the cost of like maybe a little less than 2 albums from Pentatonix, but honestly, it's worth it. It's something that you get some performances out of it, but like you also get like a good glimpse of who Pentatonix is, what they're trying to do, and like you get to see, you know, then and now and future kind of a thing, and it was amazing. So On My Way Home documentary, amazing, 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. And that is my review of the On My Way Home documentary. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Link in the description box below if you want to go purchase the documentary. And let me know in the comment section what you guys thought. If you got to see the documentary, what did you think of it? Did you enjoy it? Did you love it? Did you cry? Because I basically did. It was emotional. It was amazing. And I am going to go watch it again because I loved it. So thank you all for watching my Pentatonix reaction videos. I hope you guys enjoy them. I appreciate all your support. You guys are amazing. Pentatonix are the absolute best. You guys rock. Thank you, and I will see you guys later. All right, hey everyone. So I want to tell you guys about something really cool that's happening. Pentacon 2016. Pentacon is happening. What is Pentacon? It is essentially a big gathering of Pentaholics, a convention, essentially. It's something that fans, as Pentaholics, have talked about for so long. And just recently, a couple of us, a group of us fans said, you know what, let's make this happen. And we are gonna be working hard to put this together. And so, if you wanna know about Pentacon, if you wanna be a part of this big gathering of Pentaholics, we're planning it for summer 2016, so next year. A whole big gathering of Pentaholics. We're gonna celebrate PTX, have so much fun. There's so many ideas going around. It is so exciting, and I'm super excited to be a part of it and to help plan it, and I'm ready. So if you want to know the latest details, on Twitter, you can follow at Pentacon Event on Twitter, at Pentacon Event. I will put a link in the description box below as well. It is not an official Pentatonix thing, just FYI. It's a convention, a gathering by Pentaholics for Pentaholics, basically. So no location set yet, no exact date or anything yet. We're still kind of working through the details. We're getting input from a lot of different fans, a lot of Pentaholics, because we want this to be something that everybody will enjoy, and it'll be really cool to meet a lot of other Pentaholics, and it'll be awesome. So Pentacon Event on Twitter, follow them. Summer 2016. I hope to see you guys there. Get ready. It's going to be awesome.